meaning we want to know about your mom and your father. We want to know about your work history. We want to know intimate details about you before you get married, which can come out. Remember, I said the principle earlier about arranged marriages? I don't believe in it, but then again, I do believe you should bring the person to someone who's not in love, where they can counsel you and see things, talk to you. That's very, very critical. Love the questions.
Pastor, just you're mentioning about the counseling aspect, and I think that I've been married for 51 years, so it's been a minute, and there was a period in there where we had to learn each other because Sandy and I, if you want to look at it from a dating standpoint, was about 2 weeks that we dated, and then I went overseas, and some months later we got married, so we were only together for a few weeks, literally. And one of the things that I have seen happen with other people, as an example, not to go into a long tirade here, but
I won't let you.
When she and I met, we got married a year later. There was a number of other sailors here at Fort Monmouth at that time. There were 6 couples that got married. We were the only one that made it past 10 years. Only one. Okay. And part of that had to do with what you just alluded to. There was no communication. They would learn things about each other after the fact, and everything can't stand up to that. So if God hasn't intended that person for you, then some of the difficulties that was alluded to are going to happen where you go like, I didn't know that, I didn't know that, I didn't know that. And then you reach a point where I'm out of here.
Yes.
So the counseling that you suggested is so important.
It's critical.
To understand each
It's
other.
critical. It's critical. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. And then we'll end there. But go ahead, Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want everybody to hear you. So,
Okay. I was married.
yes.
Okay. I was attracted to my husband. We didn't have any problems with anything else. It was just one thing about him that he did that took me to another level with him, and I never could get back to where we were. And it was something very simple. We had went shopping. I was on my way into the house, and I tripped. And when I tripped, I went to reach my hand out for him to grab me because most men would have done that. And he stepped back. I never looked at him the same way again. Never.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we just didn't make it. We didn't make it.
Yeah. Chivalry, am I saying that word correct? That still exists. And I think now we're flowing because a lot of that, did you have it? Can I ask you, did you have any premarital counseling?
Yes,
before
we
you
did.
You did? Okay. Because that is critical to find out if a man, I said this last week, if a man doesn't, he has to work to get you, he needs to work to keep you. So that beginning is very critical. If a man doesn't work to get you, he won't work to keep you. It'll be very, very difficult. Meaning, I'll give you another example, Judy, with that whole state. Even opening the doors, I take that for granted. But the little things I do for my wife, I find out mean the most to her. And opening doors, the helping her up the steps. Because when I help other people and I don't help her, that can cause a problem. And I can show chivalry to other women even. And she'll sit back and watch, you know. I watch our wives watch us. I watch your wife. She watches you. and how we treat other women really, really matters, you know. So that is I hope men are hearing what the statement that was made, because that is critical. That should be throughout your marriage. You shouldn't lose that. The man should not lose that. Seems like he lost a level of that. And
I wouldn't say that he lost the level of it. I don't think that he was being conscious of what was happening at the time.
right.
And he stepped back, and that just, you don't have my back if you step back from me like that.
Right.
That's how I felt about it.
Right.
And I just never could get on another level with him after that.
I wish I knew you back then so we could have all talked and
I wouldn't be
maybe.
around.
Some marriages don't work.
It just didn't
and-
work. I mean,
and-
he's not a bad guy. I'm
Right.
not mad at him. We're okay.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, some marriages just don't. I often say they never were meant to be. Some marriages, me and my wife have seen couples divorce. We've seen couples get back together after divorce. I want to read this last statement. Since we started, I wanted to end here. We must not pursue the kind of sex that avoids commitment and intimacy, leaving us more lonely than ever. And